Good day, doodlers. Welcome to Draw Cartoons. Game Freak have introduced a brand new Pokemon today for the Galar region called Morpeko, a Pokemon that looks like it gets even angrier than I do when it hasn't had enough food. This one is quick and easy. Make sure you watch the whole video because you're definitely going to learn something new today. As always, you're going to need a pencil, paper, an eraser, and a Sharpie to go over your sketch with. Let's go. Let's get started. But first, if you want to learn to draw the fast and easy way, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. Let's begin. Now, with your pencil, what we normally do is start with the head, but since our character is just basically a great big bean shape with feet, we're just going to go ahead and sketch in the shape of the body straight away. So try and get this shape as best you can. You want to draw kind of like a tall, like I said, kind of like a baked bean shape, but it's there's a little bit of a flattening curve here at the bottom, if you can just see that there, between the legs. And it curves inwards just a little bit right in the middle there. So you end up with this kind of rounded shape for where the head is going to be up here. And this very subtle kind of curve in like this on each side for the middle. And it comes back out for where essentially the legs are. They're not really legs. Just kind of an extension of the torso, really, isn't it? So as always, we're going to divide this into 4 quarters, just because it's a little bit easier to get everything measured out. So you should end up with this kind of shape here. You've got this kind of bean shape with this kind of cross right through the middle. That's kind of the middle of our drawing. So once you've done that, we can go right ahead and we can start drawing in the pattern of our character. So start here and we'll draw a zigzag pattern that goes in, out, shake it all about. You get to about here, and the eye is a perfect circle. It's right here, and if you look carefully, you'll actually see that this is exactly in the middle of this quadrant, this kind of quarter that we've drawn here. If I draw a line again here, it's the exact middle of this kind of quarter going on here. So yeah, you can just go ahead and sketch in your eye here, try and keep it as round as you can, and then there's a smaller circle right in the middle for the kind of shine of the eye, the way the light's kind of bouncing off the eye, making it look very damp. So right below that is another circle. It's not a perfect circle this time, it's a little bit leaning to the side. This is his pink rosy cheek, a little bit like Pikachu really. So once you've drawn that, you can just draw the rest of the pattern. It goes in, out, in, and then out once more, and it goes all the way to the side of the body like that. Okay, so we can basically just do what we did here, but on the other side. So again, I'm going to draw this zigzag pattern, nice and quick and easy this, and you get to about here, you get to this midpoint of this quarter now, and you draw a circle in for this eye too. Okay, and that shine right in the middle there. So we'll draw a pink cheek right underneath this. Again, it's got a roundish shape. It's not a perfect circle, but it's very round, generally speaking. And then we'll just carry on that sort of zigzag pattern going on for our little hamster character here. And then we go make sure that tucks around to the side of the legs. Now, we can go ahead and draw the limbs now. Now, I guess we'll draw the feet first because they're really, really easy. It's basically just a small wedge that sits just there, underneath where I suppose the leg would be, although legs aren't particularly, they don't really stick out in hamsters, do they? So just a little foot sticking out there and one there, simple as, done and dusted. Now we can move on to the ears. Obviously there's an ear here and there's an ear here. We're going to start with this one. So we're going to draw a leaf shape, so it curves up and around like this to a point, and then it starts to come back towards the head, but before you get to the head, draw another smaller leaf shape, just kind of jutting out the side there, and then link it with the head. Once you've done that, we'll just draw a line across the middle here. It really does look like a leaf when you look at it, doesn't it? And again, we need to draw it on the other side. On the official artwork, this ear is at a slightly more extreme angle to the side than the other one, so I'm going to draw this one a bit more sideways. And then remembering just before you come back, drawing that other leaf shape next to the bigger one that you drew a moment ago. And then that line up the middle doesn't quite go all the way, it's just a small line, goes about halfway up the ear. Now for the rest of the facial features, because we're missing a lot here, aren't we? So right between the eyes, we can draw a small dot for the nose, very, very small. The smaller the cuter, I suppose, on these cutesy little Pokemon. And then for the mouth, we need to make sure our character has a big grin, just like the official artwork. So underneath that nose and between the cheeks, we're going to draw a line that's like that, only a very, very slight curve to it. And the most important part is angling these curves to come down into a dip that's right in the middle there, if you can see what I mean. So we've got this kind of like smiling shape going on where the sides of the mouth are higher than the corners of the mouth at the bottom. It just kind of dips down into a D shape, a capital D that's kind of turned on its side. So you end up with this kind of wonky smile. Notice how it's a little bit higher on this side than it is on that side. That's a good feature. If you can get that down, that will look fantastic. And then there's just a little triangle in the very, very top of this mouth here. There we go. That's for the tooth, or the teeth rather. And then just a tongue, and that's just a curve at the bottom of the mouth, just like that. Finally, the arms. The arms are the hardest part, but you're most of the way there now, so this is just the last hurdle. So we'll start with this arm. This arm is holding a pea or a nut. I think it's a pea. So we'll start here, right below. You see this guideline here that we drew before, this middle guideline? The arms start right below that line. That's why that guideline is really, really helpful. So I'm going to show you what I mean now. So coming up and along here, we'll draw a curve that ends in a small thumb shape, just a small bump for the thumb, and then just kind of ends there. Now we need to draw a circle kind of hanging off this shape. This is the object that our character Morpeko is holding in its hand. And then just a couple of lines here, which is what makes me think it's actually a nut rather than a pea, but whatever, it's green, so I'm gonna stick with my pea hypothesis here. So then the other finger's tucking behind the object and then curving down into the torso and just kind of ending here. So well done, you've drawn one arm. We've only got the last arm to worry about. Now this one on the left. Now this one is a lot easier. It's just kind of tucking into the pocket. This line here, this is actually a pocket, and so is this. Hamsters do have pockets, but I think their pockets are actually in their mouths inside here rather than being here. But it's fairly creative if you ask me. Well done, Game Freak. So starting here, right below that guideline, a curve that just comes down into that pocket, and that's it. You can just kind of let it slide right into that shape there. And don't forget to draw the inner arm, which just kind of curves up here, and it doesn't go too far, just kind of ends about there. So there you go, your sketch of Morpeko is actually already done. So get your Sharpie out and go over all the lines you want to keep. You want to ignore these guidelines, these ones in the middle. You don't need those anymore. They were just kind of there to help us shape our drawing out. But yeah, you're ready to ink this, so to speak. So yeah, get your Sharpies out, go over it, and you'll end up with your very own awesome drawing of the brand new Pokemon Morpeko. Go carefully over your sketch with your Sharpie. This is a great time to check for any last mistakes in the sketch as you go and fix them before you finish your drawing. Once you've done that, you can marvel and cheer at your very own cute drawing of the hamster Pokemon Morpeko. Well, it's cute right now, but I guess that's because it's had enough to eat. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Don't forget you can now share your artwork in my fast-growing Discord channel. I would be over the moon to see your drawings, so hit the link in the description below to join the Discord and start sharing right away. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos. Until next time.